Hello students, in the previous class we discussed the concepts related to tangents and normals of hyperbola. The general equation of tangent to the hyperbola is y is equals to mx plus or minus root of a square m square minus b square. And the equation of tangent at the particular point x1 comma y1 to the hyperbola is what? S1 equal to 0. That is xx1 by a square minus y by 1 by b square minus 1 equal to 0. So these are general and particular tangents to the hyperbola. As well as we know that the equation of normal at x1 comma y1 to the hyperbola is a square x by x1 plus b square y by y1 is equal to a square plus b square. Moreover, we discussed the equation of tangent and normal at parametric point P a secant theta comma b tan theta. What is the equation of tangent at P of theta? X by a secant theta minus y by b tan theta is equals to 1. And the equation of normal at P of theta is ax by secant theta plus by tan theta is equals to a square plus b square. With the help of these equations, we derived the conditions that the line Lx plus My plus N equal to 0 is tangent as well as normal to the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. What is the tangent condition? That the line Lx plus My plus N equal to 0 becomes tangent to the hyperbola m square is equal to a square L square minus b square m square. If the same line is normal to the hyperbola, the condition is a square by L square minus b square by m square is equals to a square plus b square whole square by n square. These are the conditions that tangent and normal to the hyperbola. Also, we discussed the sum of the problems related to tangents and normals to the hyperbola. Now, in this session, we discuss the new concept, that is asymptotes of hyperbola. Asymptotes of hyperbola are nothing but the tangents at infinity to the hyperbola. That is the internal meaning of the asymptotes. Asymptotes are nothing but tangents, that's all. But they exist at what? Infinite point. So asymptotes are tangents at infinity. But we defining the asymptotes in the theoretically. The internal meaning of the asymptotes is nothing but tangent at infinity. Now let us define how to define that asymptotes of hyperbola and what are the properties of asymptotes of hyperbola. Let us see in this session. This is the definition. Suppose a line y equal to mx plus c is said to be an asymptote of the curve. The curve may be either hyperbola or whatever it may be. Y equal to mx plus c is said to be an asymptote of the curve y equal to f of x if limit extends to infinity f of x minus of mx plus c is equals to 0. So the difference between f of x and mx plus c tends to 0 as your x approaches to infinity. That is the meaning of the definition of the asymptote of the curve. So this is the line y equal to mx plus c is said to be asymptote of that curve y is equal to f of x if as x approaches to infinity the difference becomes 0. That is called the asymptote of that curve. Suppose your curve is like that. Suppose your curve is in this manner. We are drawing a line y equal to mx plus c becomes asymptote to this curve. That means as x approaches to infinity. Now as x approaches to infinity, then the difference between these two curves becomes 0. So here is some difference, here is some difference. As x approaches to infinity, the difference between the two curves becomes 0. At that time, we say that this line is said to be asymptote to that curve. Asymptote to the curve. Now, this is line touches our curve at infinity. So, we say that the line y equal to mx plus c is said to be asymptote of the curve. Okay. Now, y equal to x is an asymptote of the curve x plus 1 by x, because y equal to x, we are saying asymptote to that curve y is equal to x plus 1 by x. So what you have to find out? You have to find out limit x tends to infinity f of x minus line you have tried x plus 1 by x minus x. So xx gets cancelled as limit x tends to infinity 1 by x is equals to what? 0. Therefore, we say that y equal to x is asymptote to the curve y is equals to x plus 1 by x. Okay. So next definition, a line x equal to k is said to be asymptote of the curve y is equals to f of x. X equal to k. This is the line parallel to what? Y axis. In the earlier line y equal to mx plus c, that is general line. This is the special case. The line x equal to k, that is the vertical line, is said to be asymptote of some curve y is equal to f of x if limit x tends to k, f of x tends to infinity. There exists some k such that limit x tends to k, f of x tends to infinity. These are the definitions of the asymptotes of conic or any curve. So any curve is like that, y is equals to f of x. Now this is the curve y equal to f of x. The line x equal to k is said to be asymptote, that is the vertical line is said to be asymptote if limit x tends to k, f of x tends to infinity. This is the another definition of the asymptote of the curve. Okay. Now let us see this example. X equal to pi by 2 is an asymptote of the curve y is equals to tan x. All of you know the curve, well-known curve y is equals to tan x. This is the tan x, tan 0, 0, tan pi by 2 infinity. So we have in this manner. As x approaches to pi by 2, this is pi by 2. As x approaches to pi by 2, your limit x tends to pi by 2 f of x becomes what? Infinity. This is infinity. So your line x equals to pi by 2 is tangent at infinity to the curve y is equals to tan x. So x equals to pi by 2 is asymptote to the curve y is equals to tan x. So what is our k here? Pi by 2. Limit x tends to pi by 2, tan x tends to infinity. So y equals to tan x, for the curve y equal to tan x, x equal to pi by 2 is asymptote of the curve y is equals to tan x. Understand? So these are the definitions related to the asymptotes of a curve. So generally some line. So basically asymptote is a line. That line is said to be asymptote for some curve if limit x tends to infinity f of x minus mx plus c tends to 0, or your line is vertical line. The definition may be defined in this manner: limit x tends to k, there exists k belongs to r, such that limit x tends to k, f of x tends to infinity. So basically asymptote is a straight line which is tangent at infinity to the curve. So your curve may be hyperbola or whatever it may be. So these asymptotes are exist for what? Open curves. If the curve is closed, that curve doesn't go to infinity. So there is no meaning of the asymptote for the closed curves. So asymptotes are defined for open curves. Now y equal to tan x is an open curve. Similarly, hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1 is also an open curve. So asymptotes are exist for open curves. Okay. Now, so from 1 and 2, if the length of the perpendicular from the point on the hyperbola to the straight line tends to 0, as the point on the hyperbola moves to infinity along the hyperbola, then the straight line is called asymptote of the hyperbola. So consider hyperbola and some line. Then the difference, the length of the perpendicular, that is the difference, the length of perpendicular from point on the hyperbola to straight line tends to 0, as the point on the hyperbola moves to infinity along the hyperbola, then that straight line is said to be asymptote of the hyperbola. So consider a hyperbola and consider one line. It is said to be asymptote to that hyperbola if the perpendicular distance from point on the hyperbola to that line tends to what? 0. So this is your hyperbola. This is the line. I am saying asymptote to this hyperbola. So the perpendicular distances from the point which is moving on the hyperbola to that line tends to what? 0. At that time we say that line is asymptote to the hyperbola. Understand? So these are the definitions to the asymptote of any curve, and from these two conditions we conclude that the definition of the asymptote of that hyperbola. Understand? Now let y equal to mx plus c be the asymptote of the hyperbola x square by a square plus y square by b square equal to 1. Let us try to find the equation of asymptotes of the hyperbola. We don't know the equations, so let us consider y equal to mx plus c be the asymptote of the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. Sorry, it is minus x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. Okay. Now substitute 1 in 2 to get the quadratic equation, because that line becomes tangent, then we say that is asymptote. The tangent point of contact must and should be at what? Infinite point. So general tangent, the difference between the general tangent and asymptote is simple. That is the tangent at infinity, then we say that this is asymptote. So tangent at some particular point is different story. But if you get some line as x approaches to infinity, that line touches the curve at some infinite point, we say that that is asymptote to the curve. So simply asymptote is a tangent at infinity to the curve. We say that it is asymptote. So first of all we substitute the y is equal to mx plus c in x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. So we obtain x square by a square minus, instead of y I am writing mx plus c whole square by b square is equals to 1. On simplifying we get in this manner: b square x square minus a square times of mx plus c whole square minus a square b square is equals to 0. And expanding that one, we get b square x square minus a square m square x square minus a square c square minus 2a square mcx minus a square b square equals to 0. And moreover this can be written as b square minus a square m square into x square minus 2a square mcx minus a square c square minus a square b square equals to 0. What is this? This is quadratic equation in x. It gives the points of intersections of y is equal to mx plus c and x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. Now both roots tends to infinity because the line is tangent at infinity. Tangent at infinity. So coefficient of x square is equals to 0 and coefficient of x equal to 0, then only it will be happening. So what is the coefficient of x square? b square minus a square m square is equals to 0, and the coefficient of x, that is 2a mcx, 2a mc, that is the coefficient of x is equals to 0. Therefore b square minus a square m square is equals to 0 and 2mc is equal to 0 because a never 0. Now m square is equals to b square by a square, and from this condition we have c is equals to 0. So these are the two conditions. Because why we are equating both roots tends to infinity? We want the tangents at infinity to the curve. So I am approaching the roots to the infinity. This is happening only when coefficient of x square is 0 as well as coefficient of x is equals to 0. So my dears, m square is equals to b square by a square and c is equals to 0. From that m is equals to plus or minus b by a and c is equals to 0. Substitute the values y equal to plus or minus b by a and c equal to 0 in y is equals to mx plus c. We get the asymptotes as y is equals to plus or minus b by a into x. So we have y is equals to plus or minus b by a into x. Already c is 0. So what we have? Y is equals to plus or minus b by a x. These are the asymptotes of hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. So this is the line. We are going to show that m is equals to plus or minus b by a and c is equals to 0, then that line becomes what? Asymptote of your hyperbola. How many asymptotes are there? Two asymptotes. Y equal to b by ax and other one is y is equals to minus b by ax. Understand? So y is equal to plus or minus b by ax are the asymptotes of the hyperbola. So alternative method is also there. We have x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. This is the equation of the hyperbola, and we have to show that y is equals to b by a into x is asymptote to this curve. That means what is y square by b square? Y square by b square is equals to x square by a square minus 1. Implies y is equals to what? Plus or minus b by a into root of x square minus a square. This is the curve f of x. This is the line y is equal to b by ax. Some line is said to be asymptote to that curve. What you have to prove? Limit extends to infinity. Curve minus line. So we are taking b by a into root of x square minus a square minus b by a times of x tends to what? 0. You have to show that. So how to do this one? B by a may be common. Limit extends to infinity. That is root of x square minus a square minus x. Now rationalizing this one, what we obtain? That is equal to limit extends to infinity. This is b by a into x square minus a square minus x square by what? X square minus a square root plus x. Now x square gets cancelled. As x tends to infinity, the entire value tends to 0 because in the denominator x is there. Numerator is that is constant minus a square which is finite. Therefore, as x tends to infinity, this becomes 0. So, we conclude that y equal to b by ax is asymptote of the hyperbola. Similarly, we can show y equal to minus b by a is also asymptote of the same hyperbola. X square by a square minus y square by b square equals to 1. So, this is the alternative method to show that the y equal to plus or minus b by a into x are the asymptotes of the hyperbola. So, what is the first method? We substitute y equal to mx plus c in the curve and we have to make the roots of that quadratic equation becomes infinity. This is happening only when the coefficient of x square equal to 0 and the coefficient of x is equals to 0. That is the first method. Once if you know the equation, you can show that that is the asymptote to that curve. You just find the difference and that x tends to infinity. We have to make that the difference as 0. This is the alternative method to show that the y equal to plus or minus b by ax are the asymptotes of the hyperbola. Finally, what are asymptotes? These are tangents at infinity to the curve. So, asymptotes of the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. This is the hyperbola as shown in this figure. So, x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. Let us try to draw the y is equals to plus or minus b by a into x. So, see here, this is the line. Y is equals to b by a into x, one line, and another line is y is equals to minus b by ax. So, this is may be taken as y is equals to b by a into x. This may be taken as y is equals to minus b by a into x. Understand? So, these are the two tangents at infinity to the hyperbola. Okay. Y equal to plus or minus b by a into x are the asymptotes of the hyperbola. See here the difference approaches to what? 0. That means the perpendicular distances from point on the hyperbola to tangents. These are the perpendicular distances that becomes what? 0. Here also the perpendicular distance becomes 0. So here the distance is something, here the distance is something. So the distance becomes what? 0. The perpendicular distances becomes 0. Therefore, this is asymptote to that curve. Because the curve is open, Therefore, the asymptotes will exist. Asymptotes are nothing but tangent at infinity. So, this line touches my curve. You have to expect that one. Touches the curve at infinity. Touches the curve at infinity. Then we say that the line y is equals to plus or minus b by a into x are the asymptotes of the hyperbola. Now, let us see the properties of the asymptotes of hyperbola. So, what are the equations of asymptotes to the x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1? Yes. Y is equals to plus or minus b by a into x. Already we proved. Now, this is the first property. Asymptotes of hyperbola are always passing through the center of the hyperbola. Why? We have the asymptotes y is equals to plus or minus b by a into x. To the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. What is the center of the hyperbola? 0, 0. So, these two passing through 0, 0 or not? Yes. Therefore, the asymptotes are always passing through the center of the hyperbola. That is the first property. If there are asymptotes, the asymptotes are always passing through the center of the hyperbola. Next, the angular bisectors of asymptotes of hyperbola are the axis of the hyperbola. Axis of the hyperbola. Because this is the hyperbola, the curve is symmetric about both axes, and your asymptotes are always passing through the center of the hyperbola. These are asymptotes. These are nothing but the tangents at infinity. So, what is first equation? Y is equals to b by ax. What is the another equation? Y is equals to minus b by ax. So, both angles are same. This is tan theta is equals to b by a. Here the tan theta is minus b by a. If you take acute angle mode, this is theta, this is also theta. Therefore, x-axis is the bisector. So, the angular bisectors of asymptotes of the hyperbola are the axis of the hyperbola. This is x-axis, that is the transverse axis is one of the angular bisector. Similarly, if it is phi, automatically this will be also phi. So, this is entire 90 degrees. If it is theta, it is 90 minus theta. This will be also 90 minus theta. So, the angular bisectors of the asymptotes are always axis of the hyperbola. Angle between the angular bisectors is always 90 degrees. Angle between the axis of the hyperbola are 90 degrees. So, what are the angular bisectors of the asymptotes? Axis of the hyperbola. Axis of the hyperbola. Next one, the combined equation of asymptotes of hyperbola and the equation of hyperbola are only differ by the constant. What is the thing here? Very, very important, no? The combined equation of asymptotes of hyperbola and the equation of hyperbola are only differ by constant. What are the asymptotes of hyperbola? We have y is equals to b by ax is one equation, and y is equals to minus b by ax is the other equation. These are the asymptotes of hyperbola. These can be written as x by a minus y by b is equals to 0. And this can be written as x by a plus y by b is equals to 0. Now, my dears, what is its combined equation? Its combined equation is nothing but x by a minus y by b into x by a plus y by b is equals to 0. X by a minus y by b into x by a plus y by b equal to 0. What is its combined equation? X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 0. What is your hyperbola equation? X square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. Observe these two equations. These two equations are only differ by constant. So, we conclude that the combined equation of asymptotes of hyperbola and equation of hyperbola are only differ by constants. So, we conclude that asymptotes are always passing through center of hyperbola, and the angular bisectors of asymptotes are nothing but the axis of the hyperbola, and the combined equation of asymptotes of hyperbola and the equation of hyperbola are only differ by the constant. Okay. So, y equal to plus or minus b by ax, that is x by a minus y by b equal to 0, x by a plus y by b is equals to 0 are the asymptotes of the hyperbola. Now combine that one. X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 0, which is constant with differ by the constant with x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1 is differ by the constant with x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. So these are the three properties. First three properties: asymptotes always passing through center, and the angular bisectors are axis of the hyperbola, and the combined equation of the asymptotes of hyperbola and the equation of hyperbola are only differ by the constant. Okay. Next one, this is the property 4. Theta is angle between the asymptotes of hyperbola, then theta is equals to 2 tan inverse b by a, or that is equals to 2 secant inverse e, or equal to cos inverse of b square minus a square by b square plus a square. What is that? If theta is angle between the asymptotes of hyperbola, then this is theta, 2 tan inverse b by a, or 2 secant inverse e, or that is equals to cos inverse of b square minus a square by b square plus a square. So let theta be the angle between the asymptotes of hyperbola, then theta by 2 is angle made by the asymptotes with the major axis, because this is the x-axis and it is y-axis. This is your hyperbola as shown in this figure. This is the hyperbola. Now let us draw the asymptotes. This is the first asymptote. This is the second asymptote. Now theta is angle between the asymptotes of the hyperbola. This is theta. Then theta by 2 is angle made by the asymptote with positive direction of x-axis. That is here asymptote with it is not major, actually it is transverse axis. So in major axis is the sense is used in the ellipse. Here it is not major axis, it is the transverse axis. Here it is x-axis. Understand? Theta is angle between these two asymptotes. Then theta by 2 is angle made by the asymptote with your transverse axis, because the curve is symmetric about both x and y axis, as well as we know that the axes are the angular bisectors of your asymptotes. So then theta by 2 is like that. Next one, what is the equation here? Y equal to b by ax. This is what? Y equal to minus b by ax. For y equal to b by ax, what is tan theta by 2 now? B by a. Tan theta by 2 is nothing but b by a, because slope of the line is what? B by a. For y is equals to b by ax. So tan theta by 2 is equals to b by a. Now theta by 2 is equals to what? Tan inverse of b by a, and moreover theta is equals to 2 tan inverse of b by a. This is the one derivation. So theta is angle between the asymptotes of hyperbola, then theta is equals to 2 tan inverse of b by a. Again from 1, that is secant square theta by 2 is equals to b square by a square plus 1, because tan square theta by 2 is what? Tan square theta by 2 is equals to b square by a square. We are adding 1 on both sides. Plus 1 plus 1. What about 1 plus tan square theta by 2? This is nothing but secant square theta by 2. So secant square theta by 2 is nothing but b square by a square plus 1. So what about b square by a square plus 1? B square plus a square by a square. Secant square theta by 2 is equal to b square by a square. B square by a square plus a square by a square. That means b square plus a square by a square. We mean e square, just by taking the LCM. So secant square theta by 2 is equals to a square. Now secant theta by 2 is equals to e, because e is always positive. From that theta is equals to secant inverse e. Hence theta is equals to 2 secant inverse e. This is the another way of the angle. So first one is what? Theta is equals to 2 tan inverse b by a, and another one is what? Theta is equals to 2 secant inverse e. And again the combined equation of asymptotes of hyperbola is what? X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 0. This is the combined equation. If theta is angle between these two lines, then we can find cos theta. B square x square minus a square y square is equal to 0 just by taking the cross multiplication. Now cos theta is equals to what? For pair of lines, modulus of a plus b by root of a minus b whole square plus 4h square. That is the formula in the pair of lines. So what is a here? B square. What is b here? Minus a square. That is a plus b. Modulus of a plus b we mean b square minus a square by root of minus plus b square plus a square whole square plus 4 times of 0. There is no h. That means there is no xy coefficient. So xy term. Cos theta is equals to modulus of b square minus a square by root of b square plus a square whole square plus 0. Square root and square gets cancelled. We have b square plus a square. So b square minus a square by b square plus a square we get. From that you can write cos theta is equals to b square minus a square by b square plus a square, and hence theta is equals to what? Cos inverse of b square minus a square by b square plus a square. Theta is equals to cos inverse of b square minus a square by b square plus a square. Finally, we have three formulae. Theta is equals to 2 tan inverse b by a, theta is equals to 2 secant inverse e, or theta is equals to cos inverse of b square minus a square by b square plus a square. Once if you have the formula, you can find the angle between the given asymptotes of hyperbola, or once if you have the equation of hyperbola itself, we can find the angle between the asymptotes. No need to find the equations of the asymptotes. From the equation of hyperbola itself, we can find the angle between the asymptotes of the hyperbola. So for what values of a and b, the theta becomes 90 degrees. For a equals to b, theta is equals to 2 tan inverse 1, that is pi by 4 into 2, that is pi by 2. So theta is equal to pi by 2, which is obtained when a is equals to b. When a equal to b, that hyperbola is called what? Rectangular hyperbola. In the next class, we discuss the definition of the rectangular hyperbola. So angle between those rectangular hyperbolas, angle between the asymptotes of the rectangular hyperbola is always 90 degrees. Understand? So the combined equation of asymptotes of hyperbola, that is x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 0. From that equation itself, we can achieve the theta as cos inverse of b square minus a square by b square plus a square. This is one way of the formula. This is another way, 2 secant inverse e, and theta is equals to 2 tan inverse b by a is the another way of the approach of the theta. Okay. Next, the asymptotes of hyperbola and its conjugate are same. So conjugate means the conjugate hyperbola of the hyperbola. The asymptotes of the hyperbola and its conjugate are same. We have to show that. What is the main equation of the hyperbola? It is the equation x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. What is the conjugate equation of this hyperbola? Y square by b square minus x square by a square is equals to 1. So what are the asymptotes of this hyperbola? X square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 0. Because the combined equation of asymptotes of hyperbola and equation of the hyperbola are only differ by constant, and the asymptotes are always passing through center of the hyperbola. Just we proved that the combined equation of the asymptotes of hyperbola is like that. Understand? What are they? Y is equals to plus or minus b by ax. Write these equations in the form of y by b plus or minus x by a is equal to 0, or it is nothing but x by a plus or minus y by b equal to 0. Write its combined equation like that. Already we proved. Now this is the conjugate hyperbola. Y square by b square minus x square by a square is equals to 1. Its combined equation differ by constant is of the form what? Y square by b square minus x square by a square plus some lambda is equals to 0. This is the combined equation, just it is differ by this one. Now asymptotes are always passing through what? Center of the hyperbola. What is the center of this hyperbola? The center of the hyperbola also 0, 0. Substitute 0, 0 here itself, we get lambda is equals to 0. So what we obtain? Y square by b square minus x square by a square equal to 0, or it is nothing but x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 0. What are these? These are also the asymptotes for this one. So we conclude that the asymptotes of hyperbola and its conjugate are same. That is x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 0. Okay. So x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1, comma y square by b square minus x square by a square equal to 1 are conjugate to each other. Both have the same asymptotes. Y is equals to plus or minus b by a into x, or x by a minus y by b equal to 0 and x by a plus y by b is equals to 0. So diagrammatically these are coordinate axis, x axis and y axis. So one is a transverse axis, other one is conjugate axis. So this is your hyperbola. And let us draw the conjugate hyperbola. This is the conjugate hyperbola of the given hyperbola. So this is hyperbola. This is conjugate hyperbola. So for both curves, only one pair is the asymptotes. These are the asymptotes as shown in this figure. This is the one asymptote and the other one is like this. So this is the another asymptote. So these are the asymptotes for both the curves, hyperbola and its conjugate, as shown in this figure. Understand? Next property, product of the perpendiculars drawn from any point on the hyperbola to its asymptotes is constant. What is that? Product of the perpendiculars drawn from any point on the hyperbola to its asymptotes is always constant. Take any point on the hyperbola, draw two perpendiculars from that point to the asymptotes, product their distances, you get some constant. That is the aim. So consider x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to 1. Its asymptotes are x by a minus y by b equal to 0 and x by a plus y by b is equals to 0. So that is the hyperbola. These are the corresponding asymptotes. P x1 comma y1 be any point on the hyperbola. Now this is your hyperbola. These are the two asymptotes. These are nothing but tangents at infinity to the hyperbola. You take any point on the hyperbola, draw two perpendiculars. From that point to the asymptotes, you have to show that their product is constant. You have to show that the product is constant. Now d1 d2 is equals to mod x1 by a minus y1 by b by root of 1 by a square plus 1 by b square into mod x1 by a plus y1 by b by root of 1 by a square plus 1 by b square. One equation is what? One equation is x by a minus y by b is equals to 0. Another equation is what? X by a plus y by b is equal to 0. These are the two equations of the asymptotes of hyperbola. Suppose your point is x1 comma y1. The perpendicular distance is what? Ax1 plus by1 plus c by root of a square plus b square. So x1 y1 to that line, x1 by a minus y1 by b by root of coefficient of x square plus coefficient of y square. That is 1 by a square plus 1 by b square. Similarly, this is the another product. My dears, what is of the form? A minus b into a plus b form. What is a minus b into a plus b? A square minus b square. So numerator becomes what? X1 square by a square minus y1 square by b square. But x1 square by a square minus y1 square by b square is nothing but 1. Am I correct or not? Because your point x1 comma y1 lies on the hyperbola. So we have x1 square by a square minus y1 square by b square is equal to 1. Therefore, numerator becomes 1 and the denominator becomes what? 1 by a square plus 1 by b square. On simplifying, that becomes a square b square by a square plus b square. A and b are fixed for any hyperbola. So that is constant. Am I correct or not? So the product of perpendiculars from any point on hyperbola to its asymptotes is always constant. So this is x1 square by a square minus y1 square by b square by 1 by a square plus 1 by b square. And moreover, you have the value as 1 by a square plus 1 by b square. It is nothing but a square b square by a square plus b square, which is constant for all A comma B, because A and B are fixed for the hyperbola. Once your hyperbola is fixed, length of the transverse axis and conjugate axis are fixed. So their product is fixed. So if you have any hyperbola, take any point on the hyperbola, draw two perpendiculars from that point to its asymptotes, their product is always constant. Their product is always constant. That is equal to what? A square B square by A square plus B square. And next one, the point of intersection of directrix with asymptotes of the hyperbola lies on the axillary circle. This is the next property. Point of intersection of directrix with the asymptotes of hyperbola. So let us try to draw the figure. This is the hyperbola. These are the directrix of the hyperbola, and we can draw the asymptotes also. This is one asymptote. Asymptote means tangent at infinity. This is the another asymptote. So these are the points of intersections. Now, these points of intersections lies on what? Axillary circle. Axillary circle, we mean the circle described on transverse axis as diameter. So, this is the axillary circle. So, actually, this is the point of, this is the way. Your asymptote may be in this manner. Understand? Okay. So the points of intersections of what? Asymptotes of hyperbola. Asymptotes of hyperbola with directrix must and should be lies on what? You have to show that lies on the axillary circle. That is the axillary circle. These are the points of intersections. These are asymptotes and these are directrix. These 4 points lies on what? Axillary circle in this figure, as shown in this figure. Let us try to prove that. What are the asymptotes? These asymptotes are y is equals to b by ax. This is y is equals to minus b by ax. Asymptotes are like that. And directrix are what? X is equals to a by e, and another directrix is x equals to minus a by e. Solve these two lines, we get the 4 points. These 4 points lies on the axillary circle. What is the equation of axillary circle? X square plus y square is equals to a square. So what is the equation? Y is equals to b by ax. What is x? X is equals to a by e is one of the directrix. Let us try to solve this point of intersection. Substitute x value there. We get y is equals to b by a into x. X means a by e. A gets cancelled. That is b by e. So we have the point of intersection as a by e comma b by e. For 4 points of intersections are what? Plus or minus a by e comma plus or minus b by e. You just substitute in your auxiliary circle. Is it satisfied or not? What about LHS? LHS is equals to a square by e square plus b square by e square. It is nothing but a square plus b square by e square. A square plus b square by e square means what? A square plus b square by a square you have. A square plus b square gets cancelled. That is a square, that is RHS. So your points of intersections plus or minus a by e comma plus or minus b by e lies on what? Your auxiliary circle. So this is the very nice property. The points of intersections of directrix with the asymptotes of hyperbola are always lies on the auxiliary circle. Okay. So y equal to plus or minus b by ax are the asymptotes. X equal to plus or minus a by e are the directrix. Just by solving them, y is equal to plus or minus b by a into plus or minus a by e. We have y is equal to plus or minus b by e. So the points of intersections are plus or minus a by e comma plus or minus b by e. Therefore, this lies on what? Directrix. The point of intersection a by e comma b by e lies on the auxiliary circle x square plus y square is equals to a square. We conclude that their point of intersection lies on the auxiliary circle. Understand? So by taking LHS, already we proved LHS is a square by e square plus b square by e square, that is nothing but a square plus b square by e square. So we have a square plus b square by a square plus b square whole divided by a square, they are cancelled, that is equals to a square, that is RHS. So by taking LHS we obtain RHS. Therefore their point of intersection lies on the auxiliary circle, that is the property. Next one, S is equal to x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. This is your hyperbola, and s dash is equal to y square by b square minus x square by a square equal to 1. It is its conjugate hyperbola, and a is what? X square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 0, or x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to minus 1. This is the same thing, either this equation is equivalent to that one, then s plus s dash is equals to 2a. So s is your hyperbola, s dash is your conjugate hyperbola, and their combined equation of asymptotes is x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 0. This is denoted by a. Then we have to show that s plus s dash is equals to 2a. S plus s dash is what? 2a. It is very clear for you. So because s dash is nothing but x square by a square minus y square by b square is equal to minus 1. This is x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. Just by adding these two, we get 2 times of x square by a square minus y square by b square. That is nothing but 2 times of a. So this is the relation between the three expressions, hyperbola and its conjugate with asymptotes. Understand? So s plus s dash is equals to 2a. Next property, p is any point on the asymptote of hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square is equals to 1. The ordinate through p intersects the hyperbola at q and r, then pq into pr is equals to b square. What is the next property? P is any point on the asymptote of hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. The ordinate through P, just draw the perpendicular from that point to the x-axis, that is the transverse axis, intersects your hyperbola at Q and R, then we can show that PQ into PR is equals to B square. This is the x-axis, this is y-axis, that is conjugate axis, this is your hyperbola, as shown in this figure like that. Let us try to draw the asymptotes. This is one of the asymptote y equal to b by ax, and another one is y is equal to minus b by ax. No need to write here. This is any point on the asymptote of the hyperbola. This is say y is equals to b by ax. Now draw the ordinate through that point P to the axis. This is point P. Now this is the ordinate. The ordinate intersects your hyperbola at these 2 points, as shown in this figure, Q and that is the another point R. So these are the 2 points of intersections Q and R. What you have to show? PQ into PR is equals to B square. PQ into PR is equals to B square. This is the related diagram. P is the point on the asymptote of hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square. The ordinate through P intersects the hyperbola at Q and R. We are going to prove that PQ into PR is equals to B square. This is the corresponding diagram. Now, Q is equals to a secant theta comma b tan theta is any point. Let Q is equals to. So you are taking the point P on the asymptote, and one of the point of intersection with that axis is ordinate. That is the ordinate is Q. Is the point of intersection is Q, say Q a secant theta comma b tan theta. Immediately the coordinates of R are what? A secant theta comma minus b tan theta, because the curve is symmetric about x-axis. Therefore, one of the point of intersection is that one. Immediately your point R is a secant theta comma minus b tan theta. What about ordinate? So on ordinate, the x coordinate is fixed. Here is a secant theta. This is also a secant theta. Therefore, the line equation is x is equals to a secant theta. Now, what is the asymptote equation? Y is equals to b by ax. Now, y is equals to b by a into x is what? A secant theta. Your ordinate is what? X is equal to a secant theta. We are solving with the point of intersection to the asymptote, because this is your hyperbola. We are taking some point on the asymptote of hyperbola. This is my point P. We are drawing the ordinate. This is Q. This is R. This is a secant theta comma b tan theta. Immediately your R is a secant theta comma minus b tan theta. This is the ordinate. X is equals to a secant theta. We are solving with the asymptote. What is the asymptote? Y is equals to b by ax. So substitute here, we get y equal to b by a into a secant theta. Therefore, a gets cancelled. We have y is equals to b secant theta. Therefore, y is equals to b secant theta. In that manner, we obtained that one. Okay. Now, P is what? A secant theta comma b secant theta we obtain. Because x is equals to a secant theta, we obtain y as b secant theta. The coordinates of P are a secant theta comma b secant theta. So we have P, Q, R. 3 points are we obtained. Now PQ is equals to what? The difference. A secant theta is same. So the difference is what? B secant theta minus b tan theta. This is the difference. Similarly, can we get the PR or not? Similarly, we can get PR is equals to the difference between the distance between a secant theta comma b secant theta and a secant theta comma minus b tan theta. So b secant theta minus of minus that plus b tan theta. So we have PQ is equal to b secant theta minus b tan theta and PR is equal to b secant theta plus b tan theta. Is it clear or not? Now from these two lengths you can find their product. Therefore, PQ into PR is equals to, you can take B common, B into B, B square into secant theta minus tan theta into secant theta plus tan theta. It is nothing but secant square theta minus tan square theta. All of you know that is 1. So, it is B square, it is B square. So, PQ into PR is equals to B square, hence proved. So, if you take any point on the hyperbola, asymptote of the hyperbola and draw the ordinate through that point to the asymptotes, meets the hyperbola. You take any point on the asymptote of the hyperbola and draw the ordinate. It meets the hyperbola at 2 points, Q and R say, then PQ into PR. So that is the product. PQ into PR, which is always constant, that is equal to B square. That is the square of the semi-conjugate axis. This is the another property. Okay. Now the another property is the area of the triangle formed by any tangent of the hyperbola and its asymptotes is constant and is equal to the product of semi-conjugate and transverse axis of the hyperbola. Semi-conjugate axis of the hyperbola. Area of the triangle formed by the tangent of any hyperbola and asymptotes of the asymptotes is always constant, that is constant value equal to the product of the semi-conjugate axis and transverse axis of the hyperbola. So let us try to draw the figure. These are the coordinate axis, that is the transverse and conjugate axis to our hyperbola. This is my hyperbola. This is the hyperbola. Now we are going to find the area of triangle formed by what? Formed by the tangent of hyperbola and its asymptotes. Take any tangent. These are the asymptotes first of all. Asymptotes of the hyperbola, and this is any tangent to the hyperbola. Asymptotes are also tangents, but special tangents. They touches the hyperbola at what? Infinity. This is the general tangent. So these three lines forms a triangle. This is the triangle as shown in this figure. Now we have to find out the area of the triangle. Understand? How to find that area? Let us see. So what are the asymptotes? Y equal to b by ax, and another one is what? Y equal to minus b by ax. These are the asymptotes. And y equal to mx plus root of a square m square minus b square is another tangent. This is any general tangent, and these are the asymptotes. These three are tangents. Now we have to find out the area of triangle formed by these three lines. Just we find their points of intersections and find the area. What is the point of intersection of 1 and 2? That is clearly 0, 0, because asymptotes are always passing through origin. Now solving 1 and 2, by solving 1 and 2 we get 0, 0. Now we are solving 1 and 3, I think so. B by a into x is equal to mx plus root of a square m square minus b square, and x into, we are taking x common, x into b minus am by a is equals to root of a square m square minus b square. Hence we can find x is equals to a into root of a square m square minus b square by b minus m. This is the value of x, and the point of intersection is like that. P is equals to a into root of a square m square minus b square by b minus am into b into root of a square m square minus b square by b minus am. We are solving the asymptote y equal to b by ax and the line. Once if you have x value, you just substitute there, you cancel out a and a, we have b into same thing value obtained. This is P. Similarly, we can find the coordinates of Q also. Put y is equal to minus b by ax in third equation. That means we are solving these two now. Already we solved these two equations. We obtain the point P. Again we solve them. We get minus b by a into x is equal to mx plus root of a square m square minus b square we obtain. And hence x is equals to minus b by a minus m is equals to root of a square m square minus b square. From that you can calculate the value of x as in this manner, minus a into root of a square m square minus b square by b plus am. Similarly, we get, substitute the value of x there, we obtain b as in this manner, b times of root of a square m square minus b square by b plus am, and we have the point Q as in this manner. So we have Q, P, and another point of intersection of the asymptotes, that is 0, 0. We have 3 points. Therefore, the area of the triangle is half modulus of x1 y2 minus x2 y1. We obtain x1, that is x coordinate of P into y coordinate of Q, that is AB into the square will be there. Root of a square m square minus b square is same for both the x1 and y. So we have square and square root gets cancelled. Similarly, here also b into root of a square m square minus b square by b minus am into a into root of a square m square minus b square. AB is there. Here also square root will be cancelled. By taking the product we obtain. So the area of the triangle, on simplifying, we get half. This is minus AB, as well as this will be also minus AB. Because why it is minus AB? Square and square root gets cancelled. B square, a square m square minus b square is there. It cancel out in minus 1 times. This is minus AB. Similarly, this will be also minus AB. On modulus, the minus absorbed here. 2ab by 2, that is nothing but ab, which is constant, because a and b are fixed for the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square equal to 1. So the area of the triangle formed by the asymptotes with any tangent which is always constant, and that is equal to the product of the semi-transverse axis and semi-conjugate axis of the hyperbola. So hence proved. So in this manner we can discuss the properties of the asymptotes of the hyperbola. Thank you very much.